Welcome back. Welcome to day 8 of Vlogmas. Well, Stitchmas, as I like to call it, but I know most people call it Vlogmas. Well, anyway, I left you yesterday down in the garden room where I was messing around with my lights in my wine bottle that I decorated one year. Probably it's a couple of years old now. And yeah, I'm back up in the house this morning and I'm ready to do advent calendars and things. And I did tell you that I suspect I might have finished all my Christmas puddings. And I have. So I've got them here. So you'll be pleased to know I'm not going to be boring you anymore talking about knitted Christmas puddings. Oh gosh, I said I was going to get the pattern. I'm going to show you. Hang on, bear with me. Right, I'm back. Ta-da! Yeah, so all 5 are done and I'm so excited to get them finished. And I really hope my family like getting them. Hopefully they're not been too spoilt, you know, seeing them, a bit of me making them and things. It's not going to be totally surprise, I think, for some of them, maybe opening their Christmas Eve box and then seeing, oh, look at this. They probably all know already. And one's for my dad. But if my mum's told my dad, he's not going to be surprised either. So yeah, but what's quite nice is I think about this make, I'm going to get to reuse them, aren't I, each year. So all that work I've put in, I'm going to get years worth of benefit from them, aren't I, filling them up for my family. Hopefully they don't get too bored of them. And I can always, if it get, you know, make some other ones, some of the different designs. Now the pattern, it's a king cole pattern, and this is what the picture looks like. And there's a number of different, but they're all Terry's chocolate orange covers. Well, they're called Christmas candy cozies, right? Not Terry's chocolate orange cozies. And the ones in the picture have been knitted in King Cole Dolly Mix DK and Price Wise DK. But obviously I haven't used the suggested yarn. I've used it double knit, but I used Stylecraft Special Life, and then I used the green off a wool. It was, I think it was 100% wool that somebody had given me, and I used a Stylecraft Special Life for the berries. But the berries and the leaves are crocheted. The ones in here, you've got a choice of knitted ones, but personally I preferred the crochet ones to the knitted ones. And then if you didn't fancy, if you've got a lot of them to make, then you can do the felt leaves, especially if you've got a die cutter with a holly leaf. You could, like, you know, whip these up quickly, and they've put bells. So that's a nice idea as well. But these are all the others. You know, a snowman head, a snowman with his whole body and head, a little elf, Mrs. Claus, Santa Claus, or Father Christmas, however you like to call him. So yeah, they're cute, aren't they? So yeah, maybe I'll knit some of the others in the future. But yeah, I'm really glad to get those done. And it means in the evening I'll be able to work on something else. So right, I've got to move these now. Now, the only time, I can hear my husband singing, right, the only time you're probably going to see those now, hopefully, is maybe if you follow me on social media, you might see those pop up. And because if you do want to follow me on social media, I'm actually Periwinkle Cottage Crafts on Facebook, not Claire Who Makes Things. And I've said before, I've tried to change it, but they won't let me. I suspect it's because there's somebody with a similar name on Facebook as Claire Who Makes Things. But when I chose Claire Who Makes Things, I checked on Instagram and there was nobody with that name. I don't think there is a Claire Who... I've basically changed my Facebook. I've put Claire Who Makes Things and my surname in it. But my craft page, where basically everything... If you're not an Instagram person, I post everything on Instagram and Claire Who Makes Things with underscores. But it all goes over to Periwinkle Cottage Crafts. And occasionally I will put the odd extra little thing on Periwinkle Cottage Crafts that I don't put on Instagram, just because it favours that more, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, you can sometimes get a teeny bit more on there. Anyway, so the great thing is I'd finished those last night, and I told you I'd already started a crochet project, and I've got a few rows. I'll show you what I've got now. So this is what I've got so far. I am making the Toft robin. Is called Robbie Robin, which is quite funny that he's called that. Actually, there's a new movie on Netflix called Robin, and he's a little robin that thinks he's a mouse, and he's got these little eels. They look like they're kind of like fat needle felted characters. They do. I said to my husband, they look over felted in my opinion, but you know, that's my opinion, because I have done a number of needle felting. I've not done it in a while, but I have done quite a bit of it. So yeah, so this pattern it's a lot more complicated than the picture suggests, because on the picture you can see the clear body, you can see the red chest and then the head, and then you've got the wings here, so it looks like you're going to be doing all this cream. Well, the yarn in my kit was orange, but I purchased some red because I wanted red. But look, there's all this colour work, so it cuts off there. I don't know why it bothered really, because the wings are going to be here, so you're not going to see it. So then you have to keep doing colour changes around the sides, and now I'm doing colour changes here. So yeah, it's a lot more complicated than it probably looks on the picture. So it's just taken me well, I'd already crocheted up to about here, and that's what I managed from there up to about there. I've done last night, so I'd already cast this on because it was a project I wanted to keep in a bag for taking out, because I thought, well, it's nice and easy. Crochet is a very easy project to take out. However, if I was going to my craft group and I was going to be chatting with people, I don't think I'd want to be chatting to people, because some of these you're doing colour changes on decreased rows and all sorts. Yeah, I need to have my wits about me. I can't even watch anything on the TV with this project at the moment. But I think once I've completed the body and the head, I think I could watch TV for doing the legs and the wings and the beak and whatever else there is, you know. So, right. So another crochet project that you've recently seen is you might have seen that I purchased this footballer pattern. It's a mini doll from eBay. Well, what it is, I wanted the mini angel, but I didn't want to purchase the kit because of the cost and things. So I managed to get this at for probably about £2.50 or something on eBay. So I just made it an angel. I lengthened the sleeves. I just didn't bother with the shorts, lengthened the t-shirt, and when I made the shoes, I just didn't do them as high. And I took I've got the Toft bird book, and I just took a pair of wings, because I made the Flamingo, I've told you about, out the bird book, and I made some wings out of it, and I made an angel, and I just went freestyle with the halo. I got some floristry wire and I just crocheted around it and did a little bit on top. Well, she's now sitting on my Christmas tree. Now, I did share a photograph on social media of a split screen of my angel and this, but and she's on my tree, but she's actually on top of my tree now. You might have seen that in one of my videos, but when I took the photo, I put her lower down just to take a photo, and she does look lovely on the tree. She looks cute on that picture that hopefully I'm showing you now, but she looks even better on the top. So that was my most recent Toft crochet thing I've done, but now it's the robin, and I'm really delighted because I've only ever made the flamingo out of Kerry's birds, so it'd be really nice to have another bird. We need a little bird friend, don't we, for the flamingo? But this flamingo, it was a little bit unfortunate because he was made in acrylic, and I bought pink yarn and there was loads of grey in it, and I remember I was on holiday, there was nothing I could do about it. Some of the bits were totally grey and I cut them out. There's still a little hint of grey in places, but then when I did a bit of research about flamingos, like, I do know that they get their colour from their diet, but they actually start off as grey. So I like to say that this one was going to transition into a young flamingo into an older one, so I didn't feel quite as bad about the colour. But then I think that's what made me, well, I think I made I've made a number of the Toft patterns now in the Toft yarn, and I'm totally won over. So yeah, I do like to keep with the Toft yarn for Toft patterns now, but obviously this is 100% acrylic. But do you know what? It still looks very cute, doesn't it? Even in the acrylic, but it's just luxury when you do the out, you know, like 100% woolen things, you know, and that their wool is 100% alpaca. So anyway, that's a work in progress for an evening project, and if I get any chance to come in here, I'm going to work on my star. Now, I did pop into Hobbycraft yesterday, and so Isabel, I've spent £7 of my voucher, and so basically on that voucher I got some rhubarb and custard sweeties. I will admit, they're sitting in the car just to keep my sugar levels at bay if I feel like I'm having a bit of a wobbler. So they're sitting in the car, and I got a small wreath, and I'm going to attach my sprouts to it. I'm going to put a message, but I might film doing that on YouTube, me attaching my sprouts and doing a little bit of art and things to go on it. It might be interesting for Vlogmas. And maybe I'll go down in the garden room to do it and sit by the tree. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And what else did I get? Oh, I got a terracotta plant pot for my pole, for my Christmas tree. So hopefully, even though I've only done one tier so far, it's over there, hopefully when I get to the point where I've done them all, hopefully not much is going to hold me back other than asking my husband to trim this down, because I'm guessing this is going to be way too big for the amount of tiers of the Christmas tree. So that's another little daytime thing to do. So attaching sprouts, Christmas tree. I desperately want to do some baking, but what it is, I used to do a lot of baking. It used to be my main craft, actually, right? And basically what happened is, with everything that's going on, my baking things isn't in my main kitchen. Well, there's a few bits in there, and a lot is in the still in the utility, and it's all in boxes and things. So yeah, I've got some lovely things, and I can make, there's recipes I can do out of my head with my right pans and everything that I could show you. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be much of a baking year for Vlogmas. Obviously last year definitely wasn't. If you watched my Vlogmas last year, like, we were lucky to even get a Christmas tree up, and we got that up about 10:30 on Christmas Eve. It was a nightmare, wasn't it, last year? So but I did get lots of sewing done, which was really nice last Vlogmas. But maybe next year I might be able to get a bit more baking and things in Vlogmas. That would be nice. All depends on if I've got a kitchen. Like, luckily when we do the extension, we move in the kitchen and we want to change the kitchen. So we're hoping that we can keep the kitchen intact, build the extension, put the new kitchen in, because we're going to use the current kitchen as the new utility area, you know, use those cupboards and worktop and things in there. So hopefully I won't be without a kitchen. You know, I don't know obviously how far along we're going to be with the extension next year, because my husband does it all himself basically. So yeah, it just takes a while. So anyway, blooming heck. Right, I've got to go. Right, I did want to open my calendars, but I'd really like to go to Pilates, and it starts at 11 o'clock, and it's 5 to, so do you know what, I better make a dash. Really sorry about that, but for you, you'll think I've never been away, so I'll be back. I might come back after lunchtime, so I'll probably go to Pilates, nip to the shop, have lunch, and I'll come back to you this afternoon, and we'll open the calendars. So I'll see you a bit later. Bye. Right, I'm back. I'm sorry for rushing off and leaving you. I managed to get into Pilates just about at the start. They just started bending their hips back and forth, and I just missed that bit while I was just setting up. But yeah, we got there in time. It was only because my husband was coming to the gym, so he could drop me straight at the door, and he had my car keys and had my signing in thing, so I didn't have to worry about putting my parking up, putting my reg in, you know, putting signing in, he did all that, luckily. Anyway, while I was having my lunch, I was reading through some of the messages on Facebook, and one of the Sharons that follows me was asking about, like, I'm going to, Sharon, I will post this on Facebook as well in the comments, but I'll show it you here. This is the book that my knitting bag is from. I've had it a very long time. I don't know when it was published. Sometimes they don't tell you, do they? No, I can't see the published date. No, unfortunately not. But this is the book, Flower Power Patchwork. I can't remember how many things I've actually made out of this book. It might only be the knitting bag, but this, that's it though, so you can recognise the bag. I made mine in pink and green, but the sample in the book is blue and green. And actually what I didn't mention when I showed my bag is, you probably can, I don't know if you can see there, that is a very long pocket, and you've got those either side. I only pointed out the short section pockets, but yeah, there is a big pocket. And do you know what? It's one of the best things I have ever made. It is, for my knitting. It's just wonderful. So I'm glad I managed to find it. I did regret. I said, oh, I know what book it is. Then I couldn't find it, but I found it, luckily. Right, and then I'll pop that back up here. Right, sorry about that. Right, advent calendar time. Oh, I've got some good news. I found something I've bought upstairs that was already wrapped. It came wrapped, that I bought for my advent calendar. And basically, I was having a bit of a tidy up upstairs and I found it. So I do know what it is, but I haven't opened it. And so one of these doors that, pockets, it's going to be too big to go in the pocket, so, but it can go in my box. So that's one day that's filled now. That's great, isn't it? So what I'm getting, hemline. I think the hemline one is the least exciting one, but I don't know how much the hemline ones are to buy, but I don't think they're as expensive as the Crafty So and So one. I'd have loved to have known what my overall spend was with this one. But do you know, when you're just buying the odd little thing throughout the year and wrapping it up, you don't really miss it. It's not like somebody saying, oh, I need 100 and whatever pound for a calendar, is it, you know? So but not that I'm not you know, I think buying a calendar that's done for you is wonderful, isn't it? You know, it's still it's very exciting, you know. You're paying, you know, you're paying for their time and effort building that for you, aren't they? They've had to source all those things and put it together and post it to you. So let's have a look. We're day 8, aren't we? So day 8. I posted my little star on social media last night, and yeah, I just thought, oh, I need to post it. I made him in November, and so I've had so many lovely comments on him. But he has got the sweetest little face, hasn't he? Right, polyester thread neutral. I'm going to have lots of thread, aren't I? Actually, do you know, it's good for building up your stash. Oh, what I've started doing is, you know, when I was having a tidy up in here the other day, do you remember that Rosie Taylor tub thing I made? I made it with all my old salvages I was building up. I've been putting non-Gutterman thread in here, and I was trying to make room in my Gutterman suitcase thing. Do you know, ones that haven't got much left, that are not great for sewing on the machine, just ones that have just got, you know, barely anything left. Like, look at that one, there's hardly anything on that, but they're quite useful to have for, you know, if you need to hand sew something. And I've got, you know, the other one, all the hemline ones I'm getting, I'm putting those in there, so it's good to go. Right, I don't know what's going to be happening today. I do know that my husband dropped my son in. He was about a minute late to school, and he's got a detention for 20 minutes after school today. So I'll be picking up I have to do a college pickup first now, because normally I pick the youngest up and then the middle child, but I'm going to be doing it the other way round because of obviously the detention. Right, eight. Didn't take me long to find, did it? And I'm gonna have to, I'll be opening that dodgy looking 9 wait tomorrow. Right. Oh, a pen. Ah, a crafty sew and sew pen. That's great, isn't it? I wonder what colour it is. It's black. A black pen. Now, you do need proper pens in your craft room if you're doing applique and using bonder web and things, because you do not want to be drawing your designs in a disappearing pen. So you do need a proper pen, don't you? And I sometimes actually draw with proper pens and pencil and fabric. If I know it's not going to be seen, I don't worry about it. So, oh, that reminds me. I got a little bit of footage that I took last night well, it was my husband opening his friend's calendar, the yesterday's one. He hasn't opened it today, and he got a friend's pen in his, and I think I might have put that on at the very start of this Vlogmas. So it was quite funny. Every time my husband gets his friend's calendar out now, he's normally got a cat around him thinking, what's in here? Because they're getting so excited about their own calendars. They're like, oh, what's this? But there's nothing edible in the friend's calendar, but it's just so comical. And you'll have seen if all has gone to plan, and I've posted on there. My husband got the pen out and buttons. He's like making his mark on it, rubbing his face all over it. He's just the pets. Like they're just so comical. They are. Like I haven't been filming them every day with the calendars because obviously I've had a lot of other things to show. But yeah, it's just been so much fun. It has. They're so funny. Right, number 8. It's not just an embroidered 8 today. Nothing, no exciting picture. And it's definitely something I've wrapped because I recognise the sticker. Oh, do you know what? Did I realise this? Because this seems a bit too lucky, doesn't it? I tried not to think about which ones I was putting them in if I could figure it out, but that's handy. I said I think I'd bought something else. I've got the matching earrings, but what I've got to be careful of is I can't just wear any old thing. I've got, you know, allergies and things, and I don't know what these are made of, but what I might do is just paint them with a bit of clear nail varnish. I don't think I've got some actually, but maybe I'll have to get some, let it dry, and then just wear them sometimes, just for something special at Christmas. But yeah, they're from Tilly and the Moose from Etsy. And yeah, I had the necklace yesterday, but I don't remember buying any other jewellery for this advent calendar. I think they were the only bits. But that's really handy, isn't it? I got them 2 days in a row. That seems a bit like it was planned, but I don't think. I remember thinking I wanted some decent things towards the end, and yeah, I don't know, but yeah, how lovely. I've tried to be, you know, try and make it as secret as I can, but sometimes I could really tell what the item was, so it was sort of, but then I forgot what number I've put in where anyway. So they're lovely, aren't they? So I hope you've liked seeing my advent calendar. I hope you've liked seeing my Christmas pudding and my progress with my Toft robin, my crochet robin. Yeah, and I don't know what else is going to be shown today. You know, maybe there won't be anything, I don't know. So yeah, it's just, you know, the daily grind of life as we go. Yeah, it's a weekday, isn't it? You know, I think it will really start getting very Christmassy when we get to, do you know, when the boys break up from school and college, and then all the gym classes will have ended. I won't be going ice skating. We're going to have all this time at home, so there'll be lots of fun to have. So maybe I'll try and do a few more craft things to film for you. So yeah, I'll have a little bit of think of some interesting things to show you, and yeah, and I'll see you soon. See you in the next bit. Bye.